Well, thousands of delegates have been voting since early this morning. CGTN's Yulisa and Jamela has more.
Voting was scheduled to take place overnight on Saturday, but had to be delayed as rival factions were fighting over credentials of delegates. Divisions emerged over who had the right to cast ballot, but after consensus was reached, voting began in earnest on Monday morning.
There was a recommendation during the course of the night that voting only starts this morning. But conference, being the supreme decision-making body, decided, no, we'll wait it out. So some of them have been sitting there since this time, yesterday.
The top 6 of the African National Congress will be announced late on Monday. After that, delegates will get into commissions to discuss policy and organizational renewal.
That's the real work of the conference, because this leadership that's being elected must be given a program of action by conference, and it is their work then to take that forward to deliver a better life for all our people.
Whoever wins as the ANC president will be in a favorable position to be South Africa's president after the 2019 general elections. This conference ends on Wednesday. Yulisa and Jamela for CGTN in Soweto, South Africa.
Well, let's get you more on those developments. I'm joined live from Johannesburg by CGTN's Rennie Delcam. Rennie, several delays in the voting process. What more can you tell us about that?
Yes, the first 2 days were delayed by nearly 20 hours, and these delays were all about a process to verify and adopt the credentials of some of the delegates who had come to this conference. So this process was very much to weed out those people who were not in good standing with the ANC, who were not allowed to vote. And what we saw was that at least 200 to 300 people were disqualified, and we ended up with the conference having around 4,700 delegates going to the ballot box. As Yulisa said, that has now happened. They have spent early hours of this morning, and we understand that the voting process has now been completed, or at least a few minutes ago the ANC said nearly completed. Just a handful of delegates still have to vote, and any time later this afternoon or this evening, the ANC says we should know who the next president of this liberation movement will be, and who the top 5 officials that person will choose to be at his or her side for the next 5 years.
So we're waiting a handful of votes. We should hear about that later on this afternoon. What sort of leadership will the new ANC president have to demonstrate to heal all the rifts within the ANC?
Well, the theme of this 54th conference is towards unity, renewal, and radical socio-economic transformation. So this next president will have to have policies in place and implement policies around issues of the economy, of corruption, of crime, of tackling the deep divisions within the ANC, and trying to win back the trust of the South African people, trying to inspire hope, the hope that was promised to South Africans when we first got democracy in 1994. We've seen the Rainbow Nation of Nelson Mandela. We've seen the Rainbow Nation kind of fading because of all the scandals that have plagued this administration in the last 10 years. And hopefully the new president will be able to tackle these issues and win back the confidence of the people.
And Rennie, just how does that voting process work? Can you explain that to us?
Well, I said that there were around 4,700 people. They are basically ANC members from the various branches across the 9 provinces of South Africa. So they come from far and wide to cast their vote. Every branch gets 1 vote per 100 members. And the way they went in was 1 province at a time went in to cast their vote in batches of 200 people in each group. So it was quite a lengthy process, but we say it's now been completed, and all 9 provinces are nearly done voting.